Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and this is Plantus Woman. Today, we're getting a little negative. We're going to be talking about plants that I've killed. Plants that are dead. Plants that I have failed to keep alive. Now, the list is long. The list is, I think I've got 13 plants to talk about here. I don't think this is even all of the plants that I've killed. But, can you not, sir? Thank you. Sorry, I live on a main road if you heard that motorcycle. Anywho, I don't think this is the full list, but this is like the chunk, the main chunk that are in my head that I'm annoyed that I've killed. So, without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to be inserting pics as I go because, well, my plants are dead. So, unfortunately, I can't show them to you. I love that for me. Yes. Anywho, first up on my list is my Snow Queen Pothos. Yes, I said Pothos, I know. The easy plant, eh? Yeah, so I killed it. It died, and I think that the reason that it died is because it had so much white on its leaves. High variegation plants or plants with a lot of white tend to have more issues than green leaves, and I don't know if I gave her too much light or not enough light. Didn't figure that one out yet, but I do know that she's dead, unfortunately, and it's totally upsetting. And if I see another plant like that that is that white, I will definitely buy it again, and I'm going to try again. But so far, I've never seen another one, so that's the first one. Okay, next up on my list is my Calathea White Fusion. This one is no shock to anyone because Calathea suck. Am I right? Just kidding. I love Calathea. I actually have had a really good go with them, knock on wood, other than this plant. And I realized that the problem, or the main problem that I think happened, was that I had it in a terracotta pot and it preferred to stay moist. This is a big tip for you guys. If you've got a plant that's not doing well, what kind of soil is it in and what kind of pot is it in? Because that can play a big factor. Along with your lighting and your water, you know, what it's living in can really affect it. And I think that it ultimately, I am an underwaterer. I am lazy with watering. I don't overwater. And so the fact that it was in a terracotta pot, I think that's what what killed it. And I was gone one weekend. I had a couple weddings and I was out, you know, longer than usual. So I didn't water until Monday. And yeah, she tanked. Unfortunately, she was so beautiful. And I still have her up on the shelf and she's got like one scraggly leaf left, but she's dead, unfortunately. Okay, next is a Gold Star Croton, and I know that these can be finicky. I don't know about the specific type, but I know that Crotons in general can be difficult sometimes, and unfortunately, mine was. Again, I had it in a terracotta pot, and I think that that ultimately is why it croaked, but yeah, I don't overwater, and this one liked to stay wet. I'm trying not to say wet or moist 100 times here, but I just feel like it's coming. So apologies in advance if you are triggered by those words. I'm so sorry. Yes, it liked to stay wet, and I had it in a terracotta pot, and I am an underwaterer. So unfortunately, it died. Also, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when you first started getting plants, or for me at least, I would get a bunch, and then I would get something new, and then sometimes my old plants would kind of get pushed to the back of the shelf. They'd get a little less love and attention, and I think that that's what happened in this case. Poor little plant. Poor baby. Next is my Dwarf. Next is a recent kill of mine, my Schefflera, my Dwarf umbrella tree has died recently, as of this week. I went out of town, I just got back last night really late, and when I came back, well, she had died. So I don't know exactly what happened on this one. I checked for pests, there were no pests. It's been in my care for months and months and months, so I don't know. It was still in its nursery pot. I'm not sure what happened. Sometimes you don't know, and I know that this is kind of a boring explanation, but this is kind of part of plant parenthood, is figuring out what happened, and I'm gonna think about it and try again. And sometimes you have to try a couple times to figure out the needs of a specific plant. For this one, I'm not sure. It was doing really well and it was thriving, and then when I came home it was dead. So I don't know. It's a mystery and I'm sad about it. It's a sad mystery. Alright, next up is my Burgundy rubber tree. RIP. I miss you already. I'm really sad about this one. I'm sad about most of these, but some more than others, and I will let you know as we go, but some of them really hit my heart, and this is one of them because it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. And that's the worst, because sometimes it's my fault. And I know, like, damn girl, you messed that up. This case, no, I didn't. I mean, I did. If you killed a plant, some part of it is always your fault. But, yeah, this one's just not totally my fault. It's Lowe's fault. Does anybody else agree with me? Big box stores overwater their plants. Yes, I just clapped while I said that because it's true. And I love big box stores. They're affordable and they're easy to get to and all of that. But sometimes you guys just sit there and you be hosing down your plants for far too long and they're soaking wet and they're not in the right soil. And then we get them. I brought this plant home and I did not water it for a month because I was trying to let it dry out. I had it in the window. I knew that they were prone to root rot, and that sucker on the moisture meter was still at like a 7. I couldn't get it to dry out, and at that point I should have repotted it into new soil and I didn't. So that was my fault. But man, I feel like lately, and I'm going to talk about it on a couple of these other ones, but lately even some nurseries, just, I feel like they're not in the correct soil and they're so wet and I can't get them to dry out. Does that happen to any of you guys? I feel like I'm crazy or something, but yeah, pissed me off. So sad. I'm definitely going to buy another one. Next up, another sad one is my Begonia maculata. Now, I do have a new one that is huge and beautiful, but my first one that I got on my birthday has died. It's sad. I mean, there is one leaf left on it, but it's like half dead, and that one leaf is half dead. The rest is all dead, and it was huge before, and I don't know exactly what I did. I know that they don't like me though, and my new one, it's doing okay, but it doesn't seem great. And I have my new one at my office because I'm hoping maybe it just needed more light or more humidity. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you guys have any tips on Begonia maculata, let me know, because I feel like maybe I'm just not meant to keep them. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I keep trying to think about what I did and I'm not sure. I mean, it wasn't really a watering issue. It could have been light, I guess, because I do have north windows, but I have got my other one at my studio in a west window and it's still not doing great. So sometimes plants just don't agree with you, and you can try a couple times and then you can just say, you're not for me. I think that's where I'm heading, unless you guys can give me some tips, which I hope you can. Next is a sensitive plant, and when I say sensitive, I mean sensitive. It could not live in my apartment, and this one is totally my fault. And honestly, like, you're a lazy girl, because I knew where it wasn't going to be happy, and I just thought, like, oh, I'll move it tomorrow. Oh, I'll move it tomorrow. And I didn't, and it lasted like a week. So don't move it tomorrow. Move it today. Repot it today. If you know that something's wrong, do it, because if you wait too long like me, then it dies. But my main issue was my husband likes to sleep with this fan. It's right here. I'm looking at it. He has to have a fan on when he sleeps, and that fan put a draft right on where the plant was, and it couldn't handle it. Most of my other ones do fine with it, but I knew that thing closes up when you barely touch it, and those harsh winds, it was closing up all the time during the day. I was like, I knew to move it, but I didn't, and now it's dead. Next is my Alocasia Stingray. This one was a stab in the heart. I was so upset. This plant was so beautiful, and I found it at a local grocery store. A grocery store? Yes, I did. And it was cheap, and it was beautiful, and I loved it so much. I'm not over it. This one had the longest roots I have honestly ever seen on a plant, and it had the worst root rot right out of the store. And I know that that's not super common, but it happens. And let me tell you, like, ever since, I have been pulling plants out of pots and checking the roots anytime that I can, because this has made me so paranoid. It just started declining really fast within like a day or two of being home, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I pulled it out of the pot, and literally just 90% of the roots were completely rotted out. I went through, I pulled all the dirt apart, I cut off any of the bad roots. I thought that I got everything, but I didn't, and within a day it was literally dead. So upsetting. I was so excited for that plant. I definitely will try to get another one. I think they're beautiful. They're so unique and so just cool. It's a cool plant, and I'm so bummed that it had root rot. So upsetting. So check your roots. Next is my Ficus Repens. I know there's other names for this plant, but you'll see in the photo what I'm talking about. This thing is just dry. Every time I see it, it's just dry and dusted and crusted and falling apart. When it's healthy, it's beautiful, and I really do want the variegated version. Oof, that thing has called my names many times, but I know how needy they are, and like I said, I'm an underwaterer, and I know that this plant's just probably not for me because it wants water all the time. I went one weekend, I had it at my office, it was long, it was beautiful, I loved it, and I went honestly like a day and a half too long, and that thing completely turned brown and shriveled up. So I bought another one. I have another one right now. It's doing okay. I don't know why I bought another one, but here we are. When I fail at a plant, I don't know if you're like me, but when I fail at a plant, I'm like, I will succeed at this, and I will figure out what happened, and I'm gonna make it work. Like a total psychopath. I get very like one-track minded. Like, I'm gonna make this plant live. What do you want? What you need? I got you, plant. Come on. I don't know. That's just me, but we'll see. Fingers crossed that this second one survives. Next is ivy. Just ivy. Swedish ivy, Algerian ivy, Sarah ivy, all the ivy. I don't know why. It makes me so upset. All of my ivy were so beautiful, and I do have my variegated one still, but it's honestly not doing great. I don't know what they want. Do you know what they want? If you know what they want, please tell me, because I have some at my office, I have some here. It doesn't matter what type of light they're in, they're like, no. And all of mine have been fine for months, but they never make it past like the 2-month mark, and I don't know what that is. Even my really, really long, like 5-foot long ivy is now on its way out, and it's making me so upset. Like it is like one of the worst feelings. It's one of my favorite plants, and I'm having a hard time keeping it alive, and it kills me. It really does. And I keep trying, and I'll probably keep trying because I want it to work, but I don't know. If you guys have any tips, leave them down below. Okay, next is my Alocasia odora variegata, the variegated alocasia. It was very tiny and so cute, and unfortunately it has passed. And it does hurt me because it was so beautiful. I think that the main problem with this plant is that it just was so white. All of my leaves came out 90% white and just had a tiny bit of green on it, and they just always turned brown. The white part of the leaves turned brown, and I tried them with higher light, I tried them with lower light. Unfortunately, I just couldn't figure out what it needed as far as light, and I know that other people have these successfully. The ones that I see have a little bit more green than mine did, but yeah, I don't know. One of those things didn't go well. I definitely would try again. I think it is a stunning plant. Last but not least is my giant Stromanthe trio star. What a bummer. Honestly, so upsetting. And again, I blame myself on this one, as well as Home Depot. This thing came in the same type of pot that my rubber tree came in. It's like the taller plastic pots that they use, not the black nursery pot. It's like a cuter gray type of pot. If you know, you know. Anywho, this thing just stayed wet for far too long, and I tried to let it dry out. I know that, you know, Calathea prayer plants, they prefer to stay a little bit more wet than, say, a rubber tree, and so I didn't panic as fast to repot it. This came after the rubber tree, so I knew in the back of my head, like, yo, if this doesn't dry out, you're gonna need to repot it. But considering the type of plant that it was, I was like, well, I'll just wait, just put it in the window, you know, give it some time. And it just tanked. It never really dried out. I should have repotted it sooner. I went out of town, and then recently when I just came back, I mean, it's done. It's a goner, and it's upsetting. I will definitely try again. If I get bigger plants from big box stores or even nurseries, and I feel like it's not drying out after the first week, I'm gonna repot it. And I know that people suggest not to do that, but I've just had it burn me too many times. And especially since I have north windows, like, things don't dry out as fast as someone that has south or west windows, and yeah, it's a bummer. It's all around just not happy. Honestly, this video is kind of a bummer. I'm so sorry. Oh, you know, but here we are. I feel like if I don't talk about my failures, it wouldn't be a realistic channel. I kill plants. And on that note, just a quick little segue. I don't think anybody is inherently born with a green thumb. I think that you have to learn and educate and like try your best to adapt to the plants that you have and learn their needs. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to kill plants. As you can see, I have killed them all. Just kidding. I've killed a lot, and it's okay because it happens. We do the best that we can, and we learn from our mistakes, and we try it again. And that's kind of part of plant parenthood. And Anywho, I hope that you guys can relate to that, and I hope that you don't feel too bad when you kill a plant, because it's alright. You can try again. That is the beauty of plants. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for new videos. If you guys have any special requests for upcoming videos, let me know down below in the comments. And other than that, I will see you next time. Bye!